Hangman's Alley, a tour of it. We see we're on the western approach. So as you're coming into this area, pretty much you're gonna die. There are a heavy gun, missile launcher, and a shotgun turret, and some dead bodies to scare you off. To be honest, I agree with the podcast I listened to that I would have thought my settlers would clean up the dead bodies once they moved in from the raiders, but no, they didn't seem to care. Here's a provisioner coming in this side, even though the other side is the only side you can get around again. If you're not destroyed by the guns, there's also a fellow on a defensive perch. He should really be able to mop up if no one else can. Now once you get inside, there isn't really any defences then, because here it's all about social activity and comfort and pumping water. Hold on, please. As you can see, the setup is quite different from some of the ones I've seen, including yours, Niall, in that it's just one big building. One big building that is being surprisingly well kept up by these few sports there. Now, the bit that I would have deleted if I could was this area. I don't really get what this building's possibly used for. It's pretty impractical. Inside there are just two sleeping bags, mattress, and I put in a light bulb to make it a bit cheerier. I imagine the only people who sleep there by choice are people who have maybe been quarantined or something. I suppose it's not by choice. And here we go to our main sort of social area. We have the bar with the stools around. A bit disappointed that no one's sitting on the stools, because usually they are. So I wonder what that's about. But the idea obviously is that people hang around. Maybe this guy's not popular enough for conversation. We should replace him. We also have a weapons shop. Some weapons on display. Pretty important out in Boston that there be some weapons, I suppose. Pretty pathetic farm, part 1. More water. This steamer trunk, I fill it with armor and weapons in the hope that people will take them. They haven't yet so far. I got that idea because they were stealing stuff out of my safe in Sanctuary Hills whenever raiders turned up. I guess these guys are too safe to really care about what weapons they carry. I have armored some of them, as you can see. Stool for the fireplace. Also, if you don't want to pay for the bar, if you're a weary traveller, we do have this cooking area here. I suppose the rules of the house say you're just not allowed to use the stools. Haha, we have a man sitting down, enjoying his bar. In here we have some workbenches. There's a weapons workbench, there's an armor workbench, and another fiery thing. And if I go around to this side, we'll see more of the farm. Pathetic Farm Part 2. Man working on it through the wall. Pathetic Farm Part 3. It's less pathetic at this end. Plenty of corn and razor grain. Which brings us to this area. There is a defensive post here. For some reason NPCs don't use it. Don't know why. Don't know what it could possibly be that they cannot get up and down onto this post or whatever. There are people definitely assigned to it. You also have some machine guns. A heavy machine gun, a not so heavy machine gun, another not so heavy machine gun, and a missile launcher again. This defense setup has been tested, and what it resulted in was all the raiders dying quite quickly, but the machine guns also needing repairs. We also have a water pump again, and our recruitment thing. In terms of the population, there's 18 people here, and there are 18 beds, and I'm going to show you where 16 of those beds are now. We've seen the other 2. So on the first floor of our rather large structure, we have a cigarette machine and a communal dorm. Pretty basic, not many thrills around here. Some flags to let us all remember who's keeping us safe. And a radio tuned into Diamond City. If you really wanted to take part in the defense during an attack, I suppose you would stand here. But there's a better perch to that up on the roof. We go to our second floor. And again we have a communal dorm type thing. Conditions are a bit better up here because you have a cabinet, which someone's helpfully put some 50 caliber bullets in. Very nice of them. I'll take that. Then we have a restricted area. In here things get a bit more private. You have beds, you have your own metal box, which someone's put a nice white plate in. Yes, you're seeing this right, by the way. These are those big power cables. You can't zip line down them, but you also can just build around them and they don't seem to really get in the way. You can also walk through them. Yeah, think of that what you will. Anyway, I wanted to put this here. I didn't really let those power cables get in my way. More quarters for maybe junior officers or something. People who are taking part in the defense of the place anyway. Although as you saw, there's only one person actually on defensive duty and that's him. This is the main honchos, the captain of the guards place here, as signalled by the fact that they have a desk with a pistol. Kellogg's pistol. Bit of a spoiler there. Up here we have someone on the defensive post. I don't know if NPCs can cross this barrier, momentous as it seems, but he hasn't moved off that defensive post since I put him here. And since I did that, the rest of this area has changed quite a bit. So I don't know if he can move off it. Yeah, I just don't really know what the story is there. He never rests. Bless him. Come back through here, and the last thing we have to see is the roof. Bit disappointed that no one's sleeping up here, actually. People do use my upstairs. I guess they're just trying to embarrass me because I'm recording a video. We have generators up here, including that big renewable, environmentally friendly one. Not sure what environmentally friendly means when you've had a nuclear holocaust in the last 200 years. There you go. And that they basically power the guns down there, and the construction lamp, which is also with the guns, just to give a bit more coverage. We have our nice leisurely perch here. You might think this is for snipers, but in fact, this footlocker is to rest your legs on. Sit down, rest legs in the footlocker, and get some magazines, have a read of some things. Those are the magazines that I haven't put in Sanctuary Hills, where my main magazine collection is. This area here is reserved for artillery. I don't have any concrete at the moment, but when I get some, I'm going to build some artillery there, just to make sure the streets of Boston are definitely not safe. Plenty of lighting is important when you've sort of built this urban hellhole, but at least it's well lit for these poor people. Yeah, that's about it anyway. What are you going through these? Yeah. We have a Brahmin who wanders around. He wanders around the bar usually. Where is he? Can't see him. I can hear him though. So. Maybe he's gone upstairs. Anyway. Oh, there he is. Stuck in the wall. One with the wall. That's Hangman's Alley anyway. Once you're inside, pretty comfortable, I would say. As long as you like sitting on stools. As long as you don't mind shitting directly onto the soil to fertilise it. Okay, it's not really very comfortable at all. But it is very efficient. Those communal dorms are important for building, you know, sort of vibe that we need to stay alive out here. Yeah. Anyway, that's me. I shall shine off.